Hello!
Hi.
And welcome to today's video. So in this one, we're going to be discussing all the reasons why the Steam Deck isn't perfect. Oh, I guess why that's okay.
Are we allowed to swear?
I don't know, we shouldn't swear now.
Poo sandwich.
Poo-poo sandwich, yeah.
Or edit what I just said.
And we've had it now for like 3 or 4 weeks now. So that initial hands-on excitement of thing has kind of worn off.
And I've used mine every day.
Yeah.
I don't know about
Pretty
you,
much the same, yeah.
So we have a good hands-on just experience of it.
And we're also going to do this from, I guess, more of a consumer point of view, because we can pretty much assume at this stage, if you've got your hands on a Steam Deck, you are a gaming enthusiast. So you probably have a gaming PC. You'll have a decent backlog of Steam games.
Loads of Steam Decks.
Loads of Steam Decks. So you're probably going to be that kind of person. Like us, we really like it.
You don't mind tinkering a bit, things like that. Like, but if I handed this to my partner, it's like, just play some games. Well, she wouldn't know what to do if
Did
things
you
went
say
wrong.
partners? Oh God, there's
From mustache.
So yeah, again, if it was literally on the shelves in the shop at the moment, someone was toying between this and maybe Nintendo Switch, because that is very, I mean, they'll rip you off, but the Nintendo Switch is very...
Who will rip you off?
Nintendo. But yeah, it's about why it's the imperfections and things that could be improved, but why that's okay at the moment.
Yeah.
That's a really long introduction.
So, I mean, I guess for the main thing about the Steam Deck, which doesn't work, is
You said we're going to start off with the good stuff.
sugar.
Sugar, well caught.
The main thing with the Steam Deck, which does work, is it does play games.
Yeah, absolutely. It literally is a portable PC, and it's amazing for that. I absolutely love it. And so, just to give you perspective on how we play, I have 2 children, so therefore it is kind of hard to get time to play games. That's why I really enjoyed my Nintendo Switch, being able to spend games and pick them back up again. The Switch, the Steam Deck even, offers me pretty much all of that, but gives me access to all of my Steam games as well, so love it. Love it for that.
And then what's really good with that as well is the on-off function works really well. Like, you just turn it off and you turn it back on and start straight away. There's no hanging about. That is a really good function for what you use it for. Whereas I don't have kids, but I am lazy, so I play in my bed a lot. So that's what's good for me. So I can play my Steam games. I mainly play indie games, so my battery life's good. Recently got Days Gone. Lasts about an hour, 20 minutes. But another thing which is really good with that is once I'm done and leaving it charging, the cloud sync works really well.
Yeah, it does.
So I'll just go onto my PC and start and carry on.
Yeah.
Carry on from where I left off.
So there you go. So before you come at us in the comments saying, oh, I can't believe you're hating on the Steam Deck, we're just talking about the realities of the Steam Deck. We absolutely love it. And if it was available again, if I didn't have it, I would absolutely buy it.
Yeah, especially after, like, it's the type of thing that would be really good if you could, like, loan. You know what I mean? Can you rent consoles? Is that a thing?
Yeah, what, Blockbuster? We're going back in time?
Did we have a Blockbuster in Britain?
Yeah.
Did we?
Yeah.
That's odd. I'm so young.
Oh my God.
Did we?
I feel so old.
I just don't think we had some where I was from.
They were everywhere. They were, oh my, we're moving swiftly on. So the imperfections. And the first one is portability. It doesn't really bother me too much, but I don't think it's that portable.
Yeah, I mean, again, I'm not really leaving the house with it apart from coming here, but this is it. This is it in its case. And, you know, I've got a big head.
Okay, yeah, he does.
It's bigger than my head.
Yeah, and it's not just the size, it's also, it's the stamina. So
I am sweaty already.
The battery life is, it depends what type of game you're playing. If you're playing an indie game or something that isn't really graphics intensive, you will get a decent amount.
Yeah, about 8 hours I usually get on an indie game.
But
like 2D graphics, nothing.
I need to be near a charger. Like the amount of time, I'll be playing Skyrim, I'll be playing like Space Marine, I would get about an hour, hour and a half, which isn't necessarily bad, but I will leave it pretty much plugged in all the time because it needs that battery. So you've got the size, you've got the heat that's kicking off the fan.
It's a hot boy.
It's a very hot boy.
I do sweat a lot when playing it.
And the other thing, if you're the kind of person who's relatively conscious, so if I go on public transport, once upon a time in my long
time ago.
Now I don't leave the house. But when I didn't like to play like handheld consoles because I always felt a bit self-conscious.
I would get travel sick as well.
Like
on a bus.
Yeah, maybe. But if you're the kind of person who maybe plays like, I don't know, a DS or even the Switch, I don't know, but you are kind of conscious of it, then the Steam Deck would be awful to play. Not just because it's massive, but because it's loud.
Like the fan is loud.
The fan is really loud, and I think Liam's got a slightly quieter fan than I do, but it's still loud.
Yeah.
Mine is, it's like it's a hairdryer going.
Yeah, I didn't realise how loud mine was until I started playing Days Gone, and I'm like, oh, no, this is loud. I feel it. I feel the heat from both fans. Like it could be uncomfortable to play, especially in a bus. How big are bus seats? Probably.
Well, I mean, they shrink them every year and bump the prices up. So.
We got topical. Come on, public transport, fix it. But like, if you were sitting next to someone,
yeah, so I'd be there, like the passenger on the bus, like, what is that?
I'm going to shimmy
slowly drying his lack of hair. Yeah, it is. You're always like really uncomfortable. Like,
I'm not actively leaning into you there, so I'm just holding it.
I am. So, but okay, yeah. But if you were saying it is about like that, and it'd be loud. It'd be so loud. The fan is just—it's fine at home, I guess.
Sorry,
that's all right. But yeah, the fan, it gets loud, and if you are the kind of conscious player, I think it might be a deal breaker for you if you're using it portably. If you're looking at getting this to use on public transport, to use out and about a lot, just bear that in mind. Battery life isn't great. It's loud and it is pretty bulky.
Yeah.
If you're just maybe the kind of person who's away for work a lot, you're staying in a lot of hotels and stuff, then that's good. That's fine.
For that,
Absolutely fine. Because you sling it in a bag when it's fine.
I mean, it's it's bulky, so you need a bigger bag.
Yes.
I've fit this, my camera, and my camera accessories in my backpack, which is a decent sized laptop backpack. So, and another thing, just to carry on with the size. So this is designed to hold the plug, like this gap.
I know, but not in the UK.
But because we have such a beefy beast of a plug, it doesn't fit, which is annoying.
It's just so stupid.
So
if you're in the UK, that case is just
just a bulk.
Yeah, absolutely. Other things that are definitely not perfect, and I suppose whilst we're on the subject of needing it to be on charge, the power cable is on the top. I wish it had a second USB-C. I know we talked about it's great that it's not on the bottom, and some people don't necessarily care. Now I kind of wish it was on the bottom. But the cable, because you most of the time have it plugged in when you're at home, it's always in the way. It's always kind of knocking my hand somewhere.
I kind of like, and because it doesn't have a dock yet, you don't really, like, it doesn't make any difference because you're still holding it up. You don't really rest, well, I don't rest it on anything. I don't sit at a table playing my Steam Deck. I'm usually holding it up like that, doing some workouts because it's heavy. But yeah, two plugs would be nice.
Yeah, so you can choose where it goes. And I know there's engineering and stuff like that in there, but if they can make it happen, fantastic.
And then the cable from the charger is slightly loose on mine.
Yes,
when I plug in
my
MacBook charger, fine, fits perfectly. But the actual Steam Deck one has a little wiggle, which I'm sure it's nothing.
Yeah.
But it's just slightly disconcerting.
Yeah, disconcerting.
What's disconcerting mean?
I don't know. Just coined a new phrase. Phrase? Phrase.
Oh
God. Oh no, we've lost English.
Anything else physical?
Physical. I'm sure we'll come back to it. I'm sure we'll think of stuff as we go through. We never script these, as you can probably tell. And then ramble on.
When we do, it's a lot more stagnant of a video.
This
I need to read it. So software-wise, the deck mode for desktop mode is awful. It is just not finished. I bought a dock to test it out, and it was just awful.
Inconsistent, I would say. There are so many weird oddities. Now, we figured them out, so we went away, we looked at them, and you can make most things do what you want it to. But the problem with that is you have to make them do the things that you want it to. It's not like, I've plugged this in, I'm now in a desktop mode, or I'm now in a TV mode, or something like that. So your average, just general consumer who gets this would then be like, what? And one of the issues we had was, if it was in its standard, like you've just plugged it in, it's picked up in like big picture mode, it couldn't play a lot of the games because it went, no, the resolution isn't right, so therefore we can't do it. But if you're in desktop mode, without doing anything to the resolution, it would play them.
Yeah, I don't know enough about Linux. I'm sure it's a Linux thing rather than the hardware, but it really it's really frustrating.
Inconsistent. So.
And then when you plug it in, if the game wouldn't work, the sound would still come out the deck, but the screen wouldn't be working on any screen, so you had to like unplug it and then turn it off. I think it wouldn't just come back on. You had
crashing a lot.
So yeah, desktop mode is not good.
You can make it work. So if you are someone who's buying this and you're going to use it in handheld and you're going to use it in desktop mode a lot, you can absolutely make it work. So it's not broken completely to the point of you won't be able to play any of your PC games on desktop mode. But it's just worthwhile pointing out that if you want a really easy plug-and-play experience, this doesn't offer. It's not like the Nintendo Switch, which is basically plug-and-play. Yeah. You drop it into the dock and you're done. And I think
it's better, the Switch, which is good. Maybe that's why they're taking so long for deck.
I think so. The reason the dock in my opinion, it's not just the necessarily can't get the hardware sorted, it's also the software. It's probably a saving grace for the software team to really iron that out, because it's not in a place at the moment where you could literally just give it to someone, plug it in, and be like, yeah, I'm absolutely really happy with this. You're going to find so many weird inconsistencies that in a consumer product shouldn't be there. It's very much in beta testing at the moment, so just bear that in mind again. It's not a deal breaker. You can make pretty much anything you want work on it, but you need to jump through hoops, and that shouldn't really be there.
I mean, another thing about desktop mode, this is kind of off rails, is, like I said at the beginning, or like Sean said, I imagine 98% of people who have a Steam Deck have a gaming PC.
Yep, probably.
So I don't see, right now anyway, the point of docking it, because you're going to dock it into a monitor, which you probably already have.
Docking it into a TV in your living room or something like that?
Even then, it's still... I don't think it's necessary, because you still need your wireless mouse or keyboard or controller all the way back. If you have the PC, so this is if you have a PC.
Okay, yeah.
Which I think, like I said, everyone will have.
Yeah.
There's no need to dock it yet. I'm sure some people do have a need, but it's not that powerful of a machine.
Yeah.
It's nice to have, but
if you're going to a hotel, you can then plug it into your hotel TV.
Or you give it like that.
They're not all in the ceiling.
They're up there, though. The TV's on the wall. You'd plug it in there, and you'd be like that.
Okay, here's a very different experience, but
I'm thinking Travelodge here.
Okay.
Not your fancy hotels, not your Premier Inns.
Oh.
I don't know which one's fancier. But you know what I mean. I don't think it's
I don't think it's necessarily a necessity yet, but it's a nice to have. I would use it in my living room if it wasn't such a pain in the ass to get working.
Yeah.
Whereas at the moment, it is a bit like you go to do it and you need to jump through too many hoops, and I can't be bothered. It's laziness on my part, but also, again, as just a general consumer perspective, that would be so frustrating. If you give it to your kids on Christmas and they want to plug it into the TV so they can play the latest games, and it goes, sorry, resolution's not supported, and you have to boot into something else. It's just annoying.
But then they could just play a handheld.
That's true. They could just play a handheld.
If I had kids and they took my TV on Christmas.
Well, it's true. But speaking of handheld, for the vast majority of the times, the games work, and they work well. But sometimes I've had issues where it's like, this game is verified for deck, it should play. It doesn't. Either you load it up and it crashes back down, or you load it up and it doesn't work, or you load it up and you would need to use a mouse and a keyboard. It doesn't really make it that clear sometimes. They do a really good job of telling you what sort of things it might work on it, but you'll have certain things that...
Like text is a main one I find. Like it's got small text, but you can magnify really easily using Steam and L1.
Yeah, so they do a really good job of warning you in advance what's not going to work. But sometimes, in fact, I found like two of the games that I downloaded to play, I think XCOM 2, Age of Empires. Age of Empires was definitely verified for deck and it just didn't work.
Oblivion for me was verified, didn't work for me.
So quite a few games that we've loaded to play that don't work. And again, you might need to go in and do some tinkering and play around the settings, but again, it shouldn't be verified in that case. If I have to do additional steps to make it work, I don't think that's verified.
And they do have an option now where if you've been playing a game on the Steam Deck for a bit, it's like, is this verified? Yes, no, maybe, which is weird. Yeah. If you click no, you can't give any more info.
Oh, okay. That's
so you can say no, which I did for Oblivion, but nothing to be like, this didn't work and this didn't work. You just say no. And on a similar point, there's games where I've been playing for a while, working fine, then just turns off. Like, not for Steam Deck, for game, but game will close and then Steam OS opens. I'm like, what? It saves it. It's always saved it. It's only happened a few times, but it's still frustrating. And it could, like, if it didn't save it, like, that would be just really annoying.
Yeah, little oddities like that. And again, when it comes to gameplay, for the vast majority of the time, it's really, really impressive. It punches massively above its weight. It's a much better gaming experience than I expected it. But it does have these weird little oddities. I had one the other day where it was discharging faster than it was charging. So wow. So it ran out of battery while I was playing it, and it was plugged in.
That's weird. I've not had that yet.
That was just odd. It was just like randomly shut down. I was like, okay, it's completely out of battery. So I don't know if it just didn't detect the charger.
Sean just didn't turn it on at the wall.
He probably just didn't turn it on at the wall, but who knows? I checked that. I had. Because I thought it was me. But yeah, just odd little oddities like that. And I expect it. For me, going into this and buying it at the stage it's at, I expect that 100%. I knew going into it was pretty much going to be like a beta product. There's still a lot of things that are to be ironed out, a lot of things to be changed and fixed and updated and improved. I'm willing to do that. I love it. I think it's one of the best purchases I've made in a long time, not ever. I don't know what would be better at the moment, but I love it. I think it's a fantastic machine. So like I said, we're not hating on it, but it is just to warn you that if you are going into this, maybe just as a casual gamer, or you're not overly techie, at the moment, as it stands, there are definitely things that need improvement, need fixing.
Yeah, but even, like you said, as a casual gamer, if you're just using if you use some green tick ones, even though we have had some mishaps,
they pretty much work.
We're talking in the minority?
Yep.
Minority?
However you want to say
the
it.
Smallest percentage. So it does work usually fine. We have just come together to find all of it and nitpick.
Yeah,
really.
that's it. And I guess that's it. We're nitpicking.
It's just so yous don't go into it blind, thinking it's this amazing, like, invincible machine. It's not. It's human, like the rest of us. Well, it's not. It's a machine.
That's it.
Yeah, mine's
I've not fed mine.
I bleed in mine a lot.
That was horrific. But no, we are nitpicking because if you look at like our previous video where we had first hands-on and then our like initial impressions, it's really excited tonight. And we still are really excited. It's a great product category, one that we want to see take off, and it's a fantastic machine. But it's definitely not perfect, and there's a lot of things there that if you press for time and you just want something quick and easy to play and use all the features that are advertised, they're not necessarily working as they should be at the moment.
And I've thought of one more thing before we close, and it's very topical because it's a Steam sale right now.
Okay, yeah.
And the store is rubbish. Like, it's good. So you've got a few options in the store. The first one's great on deck, which is obviously designed for the deck itself, which is fine, even though it rarely updates.
Okay.
It's the same spreadsheet. As soon as you go on the actual store page, which is just taking you onto a web page, the whole thing gets like discombobulated, and you have to use a touchscreen rather than the controls. The Steam store itself just isn't great on the deck.
Okay,
and if you're getting it now and it's the Steam sale, you're like, oh, which games do I want to get from the Steam sale? You might struggle just navigating the store, just using the deck itself. Or like you'll have to, what I do, is go back to the first page over and over. And it's just an annoying little thing, which I'm sure, again, will be fixed with an update.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. So there's some of our, I guess, annoyances, nitpicks of the Steam Deck, and just things to maybe be aware of when you're making your buying decision. And, you might get yours in 2025 once they kind of work through the backlog. But let us know in the comments, are there things that really stand out to you that you've got a Steam Deck already that really frustrate you about it? Are there things in there that, you absolutely love about it as well? Like I said, we're not here to hate on it. We absolutely love the machine. But it's just worthwhile kind of putting out from a consumer perspective. If you could walk into the shop today and pick it up off a shelf, these are some things to consider.
Yeah, I think that's it.
That's it. So thank you for watching. Make sure you hit the like and subscribe button. And we'll see you soon. Bye.
Yeah, I've got a very sweaty mustache.